I'm not 100% sure how I feel about The Ghost of Goodnight Lane. If I were to give it a star rating out of 5, I think I'd go with a 3. It wasn't terrible, wasn't amazing. I really like some of the cast, and I think it was very well shot. But the narrative itself was not that interesting. Horror films that involve young women in next to no clothing and a whole bunch of jump scares just seems really cliche to me. And that's a shame, because I liked the concept. So this was released in 2014, directed by Alin Bijan, I hope I pronounced that correctly, written by Amy Acosta, and stars Lacey Chabert, who is actually one of my favourite Hallmark actors. This is not a Hallmark film, just putting that out there. And also Zane. And I'll read the description from IMDb, which I read that before I decided to watch this, and that's what drew me in. So this says, when the staff inside a renovated film studio finds a co-worker dead one morning, the pieces of a 40-year puzzle add up to an angry ghost who let the last person step inside her house. But will they ever get out alive? I liked it to a degree. There were aspects of it that I thought were interesting, but mostly for me, I was drawn to this concept of the renovated film studio. They are creating a film, and there's a lot of terminology related to cinema, and that part of the script I really enjoyed. The film they are making it's very well shot. Well, the shots of them shooting it are very well shot and very atmospheric, great use of special effects. But for me, I don't care about scantily clad women writhing around on the floor to loud music with smoke, fog and lights all around them. I don't care. So that aspect of it, I didn't find that intriguing, and a lot of the supporting characters are very boring and very stereotypical usually for a teen horror, by which I mean things like, I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but when you have a bunch of young friends celebrating spring break or whatever, and they're all young and semi-naked. A lot of the supporting characters are like that. And I feel like that really let it down. If we had some meatier characters, some more interesting backstories or motivations, it would have been a lot more engaging to watch. Certainly some characters, yep, absolutely, but across the board, I didn't care who lived or died, put it that way. Although I was rooting for Lacey Chabert to live, because she was definitely one of the pull factors. She plays Dani, and I needed her to be in it for the full thing. Whether or not she was, I'm not going to say. In terms of the horror, the jump scares, although I feel like it relies on them too much, they are very effectively executed, and they are jumpy. They do work, they do the job, for me at least. And I will say that first killing, when it says they found the dead body, that first one it took me by surprise, even though I kind of knew it was coming because I'd read that description. It still, I was quite surprised, but it also feels quite different to the rest of the film. So that's a little bit odd as well. There is a character in this who I really like, though. She's a slightly older woman. She's very mysterious, very creepy. Her character I found very interesting. Not interesting enough to make up for the weaker, underdeveloped supporting characters, but still interesting enough that I enjoyed her scenes. And as I said, it's very well shot. There's one particular moment, no, I won't mention it because it'll be a spoiler, but there are a few moments where I kind of consciously went, wow, that was brilliant, that was really well shot, I really enjoyed that camera work. So in that respect, it's really good, but I'm narrative driven, particularly horrors. I can't abide horrors that don't have narratives and they just rely on naked women and jump scares. There are a lot of horrors like that. But this one, it could have been more interesting from a technical perspective. Bearing in mind, I am narrative driven, the technical aspects were really good. The narrative just wasn't there enough for me to have properly enjoyed it.